Good evening. My name is Dr. DeAndrea Turney. I am a psychologist. This evening, I will be sharing with you an interview I've had with one of my patients who has experienced and is currently recovering from bestiality. I trust that this information will highlight and curb this ill that is currently impacting on our society. But Dallo, this is your third visit here. It's time for you to open up and let me know what is happening. Time for what, Dallo? I'm listening. Dallo, if you could face her, what would be one thing you would say? You did well, Dallo.
The term sexual intercourse have been perverted then. So you can't pervert pure sex. Pure sex is pure sex. So what is pure sex? Pure sex is vaginal intercourse then between a husband and his wife. So pure sex, vaginal intercourse between the husband and his wife. Can I get a clear? Our primary and sole purpose was to demystify sexual intercourse. Allow the children to know, the students to know, individuals to know that you can wait for marriage. And therefore we may just let youngsters know that hey, you know what, you can wait. You can wait for marriage. And not, like I said, not just wait, but wait for marriage. The best way to avoid contracting HIV and AIDS is to remain a virgin until you're married and only have sex in marriage with your partner. And of course, that was our primary purpose. And that's all we made. That was our mindset goal. The truth is that we were shocked beyond belief with some of the information that we were getting, because we never leave the students. We go behind their eyes to see what they were doing. Some of them would say to us, let's say, I have done it with my parents' fathers. And then some of them would say, well, but do it with other animals as well. And we, in probing, you find out that they were exposed to a lot of these things on the internet, on social media. Children fantasize then about having sex with snakes, because they see them on the internet. They fantasize with, and some time ago too, we had some children having, some students, some university students really involved having sex with an animal to the back of the university that would spread abroad in the papers and these kind of things. So therefore we had a lot of these incidents going on around here. And the thing is, when you hear it in one school, you say, well, that's probably just an isolated case, that's that particular school. But when you start hearing it amongst other students, you get to realize that this thing is very prevalent. It's not come to the fore yet, it's not risen to the top yet. Individuals really don't know about it, but then you're getting it firsthand from the students. And they're experimenting because they're seeing it and they just experiment. Now, with the youngsters getting involved in bestiality, or like we say to them, zoophilia, this is the other word, zoophilia, because we give them the correct terms as well. The reason for them getting involved in zoophilia, we find, is because of the exposure on the internet, social media. And so therefore they're just trying out this thing, they're experimenting. Although we don't see the prevalence of it in society right now, it is prevalent amongst our primary school children and our secondary school children, and that is a cause for concern. We need to tell our young people, Christian and non-Christian, that there is another way. The other thing is that we need to say to them that we need to, when we speak about goodness, goodness speaks about moral excellence. If we check out goodness is moral excellence, we speak of declining morals in society. Guess what? If we push immorality, that is what we will get. We'd like to encourage parents then to sit and speak with their children about their values and what they would prefer for their children to do as it relates to sex and sexuality. And so to encourage their children, one, to wait for marriage. Let them know that that is the best thing to do, wait for marriage. From a moral perspective, not only from a Christian perspective, from a life lived perspective. And one of our mantras basically is for children, or individuals, to live lives of moral excellence and sexual purity. And we need to give that to them as an option. And parents need to give that to their children as a virtue, something for them to hold on to and to consider. You know how many children we have spoken to, and they say, they've said to us, had I known that before, had I heard that before, I would have waited. And so we also need to say to them and let them know, having intercourse with animals is wrong, is immoral. We need to let them know that. So, and our authorities need to understand that it is not necessarily a quote-unquote Christian message, but it is a spiritual message. And spirituality does come under the teaching of human sexuality as well. And also the sociologists will tell you this as well. And the guidance counselors is part of their teaching, but it seems to me that we've left out the whole spiritual teaching, but we also need to balance that with a spiritual message. And I know sometimes we say it's a Christian message, but it is a spiritual message, and it is also part of human sexuality. And we owe it to our youngsters, to our nations, to our families, the individuals that have not heard this message and will not normally hear a message like this from central government, from the Ministry of Education, from the Ministry of Health, nor from the HIV/AIDS Commission. If we are interested really in HIV/AIDS prevention and the moral integrity of our nation, we owe it to them to teach a message like this. If not, we are discriminating against this message, and we are hindering our children from hearing the complete circle of truth, and we are setting them up for a life of danger and risk and death. Thank you very much.